Hey there, my enlightened one. How's it going? Everything smooth with you? Alright, let's dive into another little episode of this anime. Stay tuned, cause next week I'll drop the last 4 episodes in one video, alright? So check if it's already out when you're watching this. And if not, stay sharp. It's coming next week. Without further ado, let's get to the recap. Akane wakes up feeling inspired and makes breakfast for the protagonist, who's just chilling, eating and watching TV. But she, a bit bummed really, she just wanted him to compliment her food. You know, the kind of compliment that really warms the heart, right? He picks up on the vibe and tells her she's the best, but that still doesn't quite cut it. Then he thinks, what more does she want? Does she want me to kneel before her and say she's the most amazing, the goddess of the universe? And for a second, she kind of gives off that vibe, and she gets all flustered, then runs off like a rocket, totally embarrassed. At school, Saito asks Shinsei if he could come over to her place after classes. She immediately says he's always welcome. At her sister's house, they start messing around, and her mom joins in on the fun. She invites him to stay for dinner, but he declines, saying that Akane is making dinner at her house, and he can't ditch her. In the middle of the conversation, he takes the opportunity to ask if he can work at her family's company because he needs some money to buy a gift. She suggests asking his grandfather for the money, but he explains that he doesn't want to owe that old man any more favors. Obviously, the old guy's a nutjob psycho. Then, his sister mentions that the company needs a translator, but the catch is, he'd have to learn an incredibly rare language in just 3 days. And our protagonist, with confidence through the roof, replies that one night is all he needs. What does this guy think he is? A machine. Back home, Saito dives into his books, studying like a maniac. Akane, seeing this, totally freaks out. She even asks if he's dying. He explains that he needs to learn a new language in one night. And she's like, are you crazy, dude? I wish I had a brain like that. She asks him what's the reason. And our protagonist, as dry as the Sahara Desert, just responds with, none of your business. And of course, that sends her into a rage. The next day, Saito goes back to walk Shinsei home, which, clearly, makes Akane burn with jealousy. And when he tries to focus on work, his sister decides to sit on his lap. Yep, sat right on his buddy's lap. He tries to keep his focus on work, but she's not helping at all and keeps teasing him non-stop. Saito realizes she's not happy, and that she's doing all this because of Akane. But Shinsei understands that he wants a better life. Even though she feels pushed aside after their marriage, she knows it's actually his dream that's at stake. With so much going on, our protagonist starts getting home really late, and Akane, of course, comes in hot, grilling the poor guy. He just says he's dealing with something important. Later, she meets with her grandmother and tells her that Saito has been coming home late and isn't even having dinner with her anymore. The grandmother comments that he's a young heartthrob, probably popular with the girls. But Akane insists that if he were involved with Himari, she'd already know. The grandmother laughs and says that Akane reminds her of herself when she was younger, all shy and reserved, unable to say what she feels. At school, Himari shows up and tells Akane she was rejected by the protagonist again, but then she smells something familiar on Shinsei and realizes that the scent is from Saito. That night, Akane waits for him to come home, but since he's late, she starts trying to convince herself that life is better without him. She even thinks about calling him, but then remembers they haven't exchanged numbers yet. They're married, living in the same house, and still haven't swapped numbers. For the love of God, help each other out, right? She somehow gets Shinsei's house number and calls her, but the one who answers is their maid. Instead of passing the call to Saito, she redirects it straight to Reiko, Shinsei's mom. She tells Akane that he's really busy and even says, relax, you two aren't really a couple anyway. That hits Akane hard. Low blow, huh? Later that night, the protagonist finally finishes his translation work and gets paid by Reiko. And it's right then that she mentions Akane's call. When he gets home, Akane is already fuming, both feet on his chest, angry because he didn't answer the phone. Not knowing anything, he just asks, what call? When did you call me? She, filled with jealousy, accuses him of messing around with Shinsei, and he asks how she knows he was there. She just drops the classic line, if you like her, go be with her, marry her, stay with her, you know? Typical jealousy talk, nothing new. So what does Saito do? He shows her the gift, which is that ring she liked. Yep, that's right. The guy was working his ass off as a translator to buy that gift for her. Akane is at a loss for words and just asks why he did that. He explains that it's a peace offering because he wants the two of them to get closer. In the following days, Akane's mood is through the roof, all happy, wearing that ring, and making meals that would make any chef jealous. Saito, of course, is in paradise, enjoying it all. But one day, on the way to school, Akane forgets to take off the ring. When she tries to greet Himari, Saito pulls her aside and reminds her that, no matter how much she loves the ring he gave her, she can't wear it to school. That's when she quickly takes it off, but it doesn't go unnoticed for a second. Shinsei immediately sees it and compliments her. Yeah, girl's quick. And she even jokes, asking if she can have it. But Akane makes it clear, get your own. This one was a gift from Saito. But when she gets home, she realizes she's lost the ring. Total panic mode. She flips everything upside down, but can't find it anywhere. She even considers buying another one, but then she gives up because that one was special. It wasn't just a ring, it was a symbol of the protagonist's feelings for her. And her mom always said that rings represent love, but she's still determined, so she decides to keep searching. The next day, at school, Shinsei notices the weird vibe and immediately knows Akane lost it. She decides to help out since, according to her, anyone who cooks as well as Akane and loves Saito deserves help. She's a good little sister, alright? But no matter how hard they looked, they couldn't find the ring. Akane says she'll search alone, but Shinsei points out that she has this terrible habit of carrying the world on her shoulders, and she suggests, why don't you ask him for help? He solves everything, right? But, stubborn and proud, Akane refuses. Later, Shinsei simply shows up at their house, and Saito, a bit confused, wonders if she knows where Akane is. She pretends like she has no idea, and eventually, Saito figures out that Akane lost the ring and offers to buy another one, but she refuses. That ring, even though it was part of a marriage that was just for show, was real for her because the feelings behind the gift were real. So the two of them team up to retrace her steps. With the protagonist's photographic memory, he figures she might have dropped it near the grocery store. And sure enough, they find the ring inside a sewer. Seriously, the guy is insane. I wish I had that kind of memory. She's super happy and thanks him, all emotional. And when he hands her the ring back, he immediately puts it on her left ring finger, the engagement finger. After realizing it, Saito even offers to take it off if she's uncomfortable, but she just holds his hand and says, leave it there for now. Yeah, my friend, they had a pretty sweet moment together, okay? The next day we see Saito at school, all calm and collected. He's reading a book when, out of nowhere, a girl calls out to him. When he looks, he has no idea who she is, but there's a vague sense that he's seen her somewhere before. She introduces herself as Maho, and in a pretty straightforward kind of crazy way, she just asks him to be her boyfriend. And this crazy girl, for some reason, knows about his secret with Akane. She starts blackmailing him right there, telling him to be her boyfriend, or else she'll reveal everything. She even tries to kiss him, but before it happens, his sister shows up and kicks her away, sending her packing. She promises to stand by him and defend him from all his enemies, no matter how strong they are. That's when the girl comes back, all smug, crouches down, and calls her cute. Before things could get worse, the school bell rings, and she just bolts out like nothing happened. Saito's sister finds the whole situation super weird and warns him to be careful. After class, the girl shows up again in the classroom, saying she's looking for him. The guys in the class are all annoyed with him now because everyone knows Himari likes him, and there's also another really cute girl chasing after him. Without wasting time, our protagonist runs out of the classroom. He tries to figure out what's going on with this girl who appeared out of nowhere. She says it was love at first sight, and that she has to be his girlfriend. Man, she's crazy. She starts bringing up Akane, asking if he likes her since they live together, are married and all that. Things start getting a little weird, and she wants to check out the neighborhood since she's new and just arrived. And since Saito's a nice guy, he ends up taking her around to show her the place. They end up at a restaurant, where she starts devouring some big snacks, and says that her sister never lets her eat junk food. Saito, a little awkward, says Akane does the same thing to him. That's when a weird scene happens. She notices he's got sauce on his finger, and what do you think she does? Oh, you're dirty, huh? Let's clean that. No, she just sticks his finger in her mouth. Dude, what's going on here? And she even takes a picture. Saito, more than a little uncomfortable, asks her to delete the photo. Of course, man, I'd be super freaked out too, out of nowhere like that. And the girl, just as naturally as ever, runs off. Saito chases her until she's exhausted. After a while, she gives in and agrees to delete the photo. She's surprised by his reaction, thinking he would be furious. But the truth is, he took it pretty well. And after she deleted the photo, he didn't really give it much thought. That's right, man. No need to give attention to crazy people. At the end, she's still bold and says she wants to visit his house. And he, obviously, says no. But she's already ready with her threat, saying that if he doesn't let her go, she'll just expose their whole marriage secret. Poor protagonist, man. Later, Akane shows up and sees her younger sister with Saito. Yeah, this girl is Akane's little sister, dude. She, all excited, throws herself at Akane, saying she's been dying to see her. Saito, trying to figure out what's going on, remembers Akane mentioning that she had lost her sister, but Akane quickly responds that she never said her sister was dead. Maho explains that she was traveling abroad with the money she got from Shio, and now she wants to know everything about their married life. She rushes to the room and, noticing there's only one bed for both of them, is surprised, but they both explain that nothing's going on. Maho then decides to stay there to make sure nothing weird happens. This freaks Saito out. That's when Shinsei also shows up at the house, and the two girls start arguing about who would be the best sister for Saito, and they ask him to decide in the end. After seeing both of them present themselves, Saito calmly says that Shinsei is the best, because she's super cute. And it's kind of obvious, right? A girl just popped up out of nowhere, wanting to cut in line, man. She barely got there, and now she's sitting by the window. That's when Akane says Maho will always be number one for her. She even starts throwing some hints, saying Akane could move out of the way and let her marry Saito. She explains that their grandparents only care about the grandchildren's marriages, and it doesn't really matter who their partner is, you know. Maho even tries to warn Akane about Saito's bad habits, but Akane, in her own way, says she has no problem with it. And she even shows the photo she took with Saito, saying that they already get along pretty well. The girl then promises to take care of Saito, while Akane tries to stop her, but she ends up wondering why she's acting like this in the first place. Meanwhile, Saito is taking a shower, and Maho interrupts at that moment. He asks her to leave, but she, with all the nerve in the world, threatens to tell Akane that he tried to attack her, which once again, leaves him with no choice. Man, the girl just keeps cornering him. She keeps insisting that they should get married. She even offers to do anything in return. But Saito, already tired of the whole situation, asks for some time to think. When it's time to go to bed, Saito simply collapses on the bed, saying he's exhausted because of Maho. But Akane starts talking well about her sister, which makes Saito even more sleepy. Then, she asks if he would like to break up with her, and that completely surprises Saito. Totally unsure of how to respond, he asks why she would ask something like that. And Akane very calmly just says she was curious. But then they both realize that deep down, neither of them really knows what they want out of life. They were both forced into this marriage back in high school. How are they supposed to know what they want in life, right? This thing's getting crazier by the minute. If you liked the video, hit that like button and leave a comment, man. Tell me what you thought, what you want me to bring for the next videos, man. Your comment is super welcome. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to show some love. I'll leave a video here for you to check out too, man. It's good stuff, high quality, go give it a look. And I'll see you in the next anime. Later, my dude.